Looking to score tickets to the biggest games and concerts in town?
Yes.
From Santana, the Doobie Brothers, 311, Snoop Dogg, and more. Your chance to win is waiting. Enter now at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
You know what my favorite Snoop Dogg song is? I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. So, hour number 3 of the Common Man program, Common and Tenby. Mark Rosen will join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Brian Oak with Rock Talk on Wednesday at 1:15. And was it Thursday, the program password?
Thursday, 1:15.
Yeah, invitational tournament continues. It will be Creasel and Meat Sauce versus Marnie and Lil B. That's got... that's a radio programmer's dream, right? That's like OKC against San Antonio. That's like OKC against San Antonio. That's like the Minnesota Wild. It's a great matchup.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun. Looking at the Athletic, you're familiar with it?
The what?
The Athletic. It's a online subscription service. It talks about sports. It was bought by the New York Times. If I remember correctly, two guys with a couple of dollars came up with the idea we should start like almost like a USA Today for sports, and we'll just find the best writers in all the major markets and even some Midland markets, and we'll hire them. We'll bump their pay a little bit, and they'll be the beat writers for us, and they'll cover sports. And they do a lot of long form stuff too, because it's not like, your dailies, you're giving results. You'll have some analysis, but you're doing a lot of results. But they do plenty of analysis in the Athletic. Harmon Dayal, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's Dayal, writes for the Athletic. He writes hockey. His piece is analysis why these 8 NHL teams could be aggressive on the trade market this offseason. And Tenby, as you would guess where this is leading, would be the Minnesota Wild. And here's what he writes about the Wild. Many teams have a desire to upgrade down the middle, but there's arguably no contender more desperate for an impact top 6 center than Minnesota. The Wild were widely viewed by league executives as a dark horse Stanley Cup contender heading into the playoffs, but they're stuck in one of the toughest divisions in hockey, and their 5-game loss to Colorado round 2 revealed that this is still an imperfect roster. With Eck injured, the club was rolling Ryan Hartman and Michael McCarron as their 1-2 punch at center for must-win games against the Avs, which simply isn't going to cut it. Couple that with the impetus to win now with Quinn Hughes in the fold, and there's no way Billy Guerin, one of the boldest GMs in the NHL, is going to sit on his hands this summer. The Wild may not have the proven centerpiece with star potential that's required to win the Dylan Larkin sweepstakes, but they have assets to make some upgrades. Yurov is a promising 22-year-old center. Charlie Stramel, right? Stramel. A first-round pick from 2023, a 6'3" pivot who finished a productive NCAA season, and the team still has its first-round picks in 2027 and 2028. All those chips could be dangled. All those pieces could be dangled as trade chips. Minnesota may need to create more cap room to make a splash. It currently has about $11 million in projected space, but with only 17 NHLers on a contract. The good news is that there are straightforward ways to free up more cap room if necessary. The 15-team no-trade clause on Hartman's contract with 1 year remaining at $4 million will shift to a 10-team list. Quality but pricey bottom 6 forwards Trennan and Sturm don't have any trade protection. So this is what we've been discussing this locally here for weeks now. Your crystal ball, Tenby. If you could look into a crystal ball, what do you think the Wild are going to attempt to do? Do you think that Larkin is the choice? Remember, didn't he just say that'd be one team he'd be interested in being traded to?
He gave a list of 3, right, and the Wild are one of the 3. It's a very weak free agent market, so you're not going to get a lot of. You might be able to find a second line winger or something, which they really have 2 spots in their top 6 they need to fill. And that'll really slot everybody into the proper spot on the roster. Center clearly being the biggest need of them. There's not a lot specifically at the center position ways you can address your weaknesses in free agency. So trade is probably going to be the route you're going to have to go. We definitely know that Bill Guerin is willing to go up to the plate and swing the bat. It's going to be a matter of, do you make the trade now, or are teams asking for too much, right? If they're asking for too much for Dylan Larkin, you just go, all right, well, we're going to sit and wait and keep our assets for another time. Because that's kind of what Guerin did before the deadline, right? Like, he could have added to this team to give them a better chance to win the Cup, but he wanted to make the big swing, and he wanted to save his assets, whatever, the little he had left from Quinn Hughes trade, he wanted to save those assets for a rainier day where you have a chance for a bigger swing. And it'll be interesting to see whether he can pull off. I mean, Dylan Larkin would be great here. But if Detroit's asking for too much, you just go, all right, well, we'll wait for another day. Maybe Austin Matthews in the next year might become available. He might be available this summer. Dare I say Connor McDavid could become available at some point in the next year. And if you go out and get a Dylan Larkin, you now shut yourself out from... Now, Connor McDavid, the amount of assets that would take to get him, I don't even know if the Wild have, because that's astronomical. But, you know, I don't think we have to go all in on, hey, we have to get Dylan Larkin, let's go get him. This team can make the playoffs and be a contender just the way it is now.
Okay.
So I don't think you have to get super desperate. You can still have a team that's second or third in the division before the trade deadline next year and then add to it then. So I don't think, people were expecting Bill Guerin to make big moves last offseason summer, and he didn't. And then he waited till in the season and got Quinn Hughes. Clearly that was a very smart move. So I think Bill is going to learn from that and go, I don't have to go in July. That we're not in a desperate spot here. This team could be a Cup contender as it is right now. Obviously you want to add to it, and the problem they keep running into is a guy like Drew Larson that gets hurt in the playoffs and they just don't have the depth to overcome it. And that's the risky part of it.
Let me ask you this question. Let's say, and maybe it's hard, what's impossible to predict, obviously. And I don't know what you'd have to give up for Larkin if it would be key pieces now. We talked about some names there. If they were to acquire Larkin before the season started, do you think, do you like parades? Are you planning the parade route? Are you talking skate streets again? Is he that good? Could he make the team instantly one of the 2 or 3 favorites to win the Cup?
Yeah. Really? It's hockey. Right. Nothing's ever guaranteed in hockey. The Stanley Cup winning goaltender I had never heard of 2-3 weeks ago.
Right.
Colorado looked like the best team in hockey. They ran into a buzzsaw in Vegas and had some injury issues with their star players. Like there's an element of luck to this. So I don't think there's moves the Wild can make go, all right, they're the number 1 team in the league. Like stone cold, no doubt about it. But I think they're top 5-ish now, the way they're currently constructed, assuming they can re-sign Quinn Hughes to a long-term deal. And, yeah, you add to that, yeah, they could definitely be in the conversation of, a center puts you in the Colorado conversation. I think Dylan Larkin puts you in the Colorado conversation. It puts you in the, you could argue they have more star power than Carolina, the team that just won it. Carolina was just good everywhere. They had depth everywhere. So, yeah, I think they're a playoff team that if everything goes right could be a Stanley Cup winner as is.
And we can build this thing together.
I mean, I think we saw in the playoffs this year, they're still a center away. And I think that'll be addressed. I'm just saying it might not happen necessarily in July.
List radio is what kind of radio, Tenemy?
Lazy radio.
There's a list out that has 10 players that were drafted after day 1 in the NFL draft, this past draft, that they feel could earn a key role on the team in the upcoming season. One of those 10 plays for the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. We'll take a look at that. A couple others in the NFC North as well. We'll take a look at that list. It's Lazy Radio. It continues next. Here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Fan has your chance to win $2,500. Just enter the keyword America at KFAN.com now. That keyword is America. Enter it at KFAN.com right now.
The Common Man.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Couple 13-14 past here on the Common Man program. I'm Common. He is 10 to B, unprepared, uninformed, and unapologetic. That's the Common Man program.
I thought you were talking about 10 to B.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're spot on. You know everything. You're always come fully prepared and ready to go. The next show, Bumper to Bumper, with Dan Barrero and Justin Guard, poised, polished, and professional. Speaking of Justin Guard, claims to be a two-time Minnesota State High School boys tennis champion. Reading from the Fish Wrap Factory West Side, it says, 2026 All-Minnesota Boys Tennis Player of the Year, Soren Swenson from Mounds View. The junior won the Class 2A singles title for the second consecutive year. We think. It was reported that JG has claimed he won two, but of course Ray Richardson wrote that he won one time. Got a question for you, Tennessee, and I was looking for JG, but I don't see him yet. Do you think in his prime, 18-year-old Justin Guard could beat Soren Swenson? They're both two-time champions, and Soren did it in his, I think, sophomore, because he's just finished his junior. So he's still got another year of high school.
He has a three-peat opportunity.
He has a three-peat opportunity. Do you think Justin Guard could beat Soren Swenson? Not now, of course. I'm talking about in his.
He definitely could now.
No, in his prime, Justin Guard. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the fact that he did it at a younger age would lead me to believe that he's more talented than JG.
Best.
I don't know what the competition. Was Gurdsey going up against the Philadelphia Flyers of the world back then, or did he have to go through Colorado, Minnesota, and Dallas?
Right.
I don't know.
Minnesota.
Is Soren from Edina, did you say?
Mounds View. Tough guy, Tom.
I should know him.
Yeah,
it's my side.
It's your side of the town. Best Minnesota.
Well, then I'm definitely saying Soren.
Best boys Minnesota State High School. Hold on. High school tennis player of all time. See what it says. Dusty Boyer from Forest Lake High School is widely considered the greatest boys high school tennis player in Minnesota history. He's the only player to win 4 individual singles titles, and he compiled a staggering near-perfect high school rate. Then there's David Wheaton. Before a stand-up professional career, which included reaching the Wimbledon semifinals and climbing to number 12 in the world, Wheaton dominated the Minnesota high school scene. He captured an individual state title as a freshman before leaving to train at a specialized tennis academy. Maybe that's where JG went wrong. He continued to play high school tennis. Have he gone the route of David Wheaton and went to a specialized training academy, maybe we wouldn't know him as we do now as the tasteless box of mashed potatoes. We'd be going, man, think about it. He's as good as Borg and Connors and who are some of the more current guys?
Current guys?
Agassi. Federer and Djokovic. He's as good as those guys.
I thought he played for Denver.
Wait, hold on. Hey-o. Marty Fish, the Blake School. Though he left high school early to train in Florida and didn't rack up years of MSHSL state records, Fish is historically the most successful Minnesota product. He went on to become an Olympic silver medalist and reach number 7 in the world. And then Dave Healy of Rochester, one of the earliest legends of Minnesota high school tennis. He was the first player in state history to win 3 consecutive individual singles titles in the 50s. Who else is on your radar? Or are you looking for a breakdown of dominant current era players? I know who I'm looking for. I'm going to write, let's see what they say. Justin Guard. Let's see what they say.
It'd be funny if AI had it show up as one tennis title just because we've had the bit going for so long.
See what it says. It's searching. Justin Guard, locally known as Guardsy, is a prominent KFAN radio personality who does, in fact, have a legitimate history in the Minnesota high school tennis record books. While he might joke on the radio about his athleticism, he was an elite tennis player.
Wow.
Two-time state champ. He is, according to AI. Of course, the intelligence is artificial, much like his 2 titles, I believe. 2-time state champion, playing for the powerhouse Edina Hornets. Guard won back-to-back Class AA doubles state championships in 2000 and 2001.
He won doubles?
Well, this doesn't say anything about singles. It says doubles. Playing for the powerhouse. Guard won back-to-back Class AA doubles state championships.
This whole time he was deceiving us? I thought he won singles.
Well, that's what I thought, too.
He was climbing on the back of somebody else.
Marty Fish.
Yeah.
Following his high school dominance, he went on to play collegiate tennis for the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. He also spent time coaching high school tennis, leading the boys' varsity program at Benilde St. Margaret's from 2007 to 2009. Today, Guard is best known as the longtime producer of Bumper to Bumper with Dan Barrero, the host of The Cake Show, the sideline reporter for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, play-by-play voice for the Gophers Women's Basketball Network, and he also works for the Omaha Chamber of Commerce. I threw that in. Then it says, are you a regular KFAN listener looking into station lore, or did you want to look at more Edina High School tennis legends? I'll pass on the tennis legends. He's not listed, though, as one of the all-time greats. I think he's, yeah, okay, Dusty Boyer won 4. I get that. And David Wheaton, when he reached the semifinals at Wimbledon, was number 12 in the world at one time. And Marty Fish, his close personal friend, won an Olympic silver, reached number 7 in the world. Dave Healy played in the 50s when it was just wooden rackets. I say just, harder to play then, I think. But why isn't Guard's name mentioned in here? He's a hell of a player. But he's not in here.
He's in the Edina Athletic Hall of Fame.
Is he really?
Yeah, class of 2017.
Well, why didn't we hear about that?
He earned 8 varsity letters, 5 in tennis, 3 in basketball. Dual sport athlete.
I won the sack race, 6th grade Adams Elementary School, 6th grade track and field day. I got that going for me. I still have the blue ribbon from it.
So Guernsey won in 98 and 2000s. What happened in 99? He must look back at that one and just devastated. He could have three-peated.
Well, it sounds like, I don't know what AI has done here, but it sounds like not only did he win singles titles, but he also won doubles titles, because this only lists as doubles, but you're saying he won singles.
Well, on the Edina Athletic, yeah, I'm guessing AI is wrong there.
Yeah.
He won the singles championships in, oh, here we go. Oh, I see. I got it. He won back-to-back Class AA singles championships 2000, 2001, but he won team state championships in 98 and 2000.
Oh.
So he was a part of the team, yeah.
Okay.
And then his team also took 3rd place in 2001.
To look at him now, you would never guess he won 2 Minnesota State High School. I'm just saying. He's not, none of us are like we used to be, Tippy. I mean,
I definitely am not.
I don't look at you now and say, boy, that's a guy that could take a check swing and hit a home run and a 3. I would never think you could do that, but you have that kind of power. Never would think you were a standout defenseman in high school hockey. You still look the part, no offense.
You don't look the part of an elite sack race runner.
I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Did we ever do digital with sack race?
Well, I know we wanted to do it at the state fair, but for liability reasons, they wouldn't let us in case someone gets hurt. We wanted to have a sack race out there.
Maybe I should start doing the things I've never done that might make us good. Prop up sagging, not ratings, but sagging digital numbers or whatever. Maybe I should show my prowess. Maybe I am as good as I used to be. I don't know. Let's take our final break. Come back. We've got some more nonstop nonsense, tomfoolery, and skullduggery coming your way on the other side of the break here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to be. We have breaking news. Vikings announced 2026 training camp schedule. 13 practices to be counted. 13 open to fans. Vikings training camp presented by U.S. Bank opens with Back Together Weekend on Saturday, August 1st. Digital tickets are available to season ticket members beginning 10 a.m. Tuesday, the 16th of June, and the general public 10 a.m. 2 days later, Thursday, the 18th. This is the 66th training camp in Minnesota Vikings history, the 9th hosted by the TCO Performance Center, the new Winter Park. Features 13 open practices. General admission tickets for 12 of the 13 practices are free for Viking season ticket members and kids 36 inches and under. So they actually have, they measure them. Sort of like when you go to the state fair and you got to see if you're tall enough to go on some of the rides. You ever see?
I suppose they just do height because they can't prove the age.
Yeah.
And people lie to them.
Well,
because I think it's unfair if you just had a child that happened to grow quicker than the others their age, and now you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem just to me.
Do you think?
Because you have early bloomers.
Victor Wembanyama, when he was 5, was probably 6 feet tall, so he doesn't get in because he's 36 inches. When you went on those state fair rides, did you ever stand on your tippy toes just to see if you could reach that 3-foot limit? I did. $5 for kids 17 and under, and $10 for adults. Here are your key dates. The Back Together and Legends Weekend is Saturday, August 1st. Monday, August 3rd, the first padded practice. We used to say shells. Shells, meaning your helmet and your pads. That's what, in the old days, that's what they called it. Then Sunday, August 9th is the first night practice. Wednesday, August 19th, and Thursday, August 20th, joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens. And the last open practice will be Thursday, August 20th. Organize autograph sessions with the Vikings players for kids 17 and younger, not 36 inches and younger, or shorter, but 17 years younger will once again take place in 2026. Along with regular player autograph sessions, additional fan activation elements will include a family fun zone, youth football clinics, cheer clinics, prize-winning opportunities, and tryouts for free agents. No, not just kidding there. Full fan entertainment details can be found at Vikings.com. So there you go. We'll be there, Tennessee. I'm noticing I plan a week's vacation in August, but it will not this year. Last year, where the heck did I go that I missed the joint practices? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was not there, but it sounds like I will be there because the joint practices are scheduled for August 19th and 20th. So
how excited are you to be there?
I can't wait for it. You know how I love being there. I actually don't mind. It's sort of kind of fun being outdoors. And
maybe we still have a quarterback competition at that point, too.
And we might. So I kind of look forward to that. Here's a text message that says, the thing about tennis is it's not that hard to be good because the best athletes don't play it. They're playing baseball and track. Tennis players are mostly unathletic guys who practice a lot. And my buddy is a very successful high school tennis coach who's won multiple state titles, and he would tell you the same thing. So congrats to Guardsy on beating the collection of nerds or bench warmers in other sports. Larry Mandela guy. Why would Larry Mandela guy cheap shot Guardsy like that? Make any sense?
He was lettered 3 times in basketball at Edina. That's pretty good.
I guess he was a hell of an athlete. Someone says, grade school blue ribbon in the sack race is a big deal. Thank you. And this one says, Common still has to stand on his tippy toes to ride certain rides. Well, that's true too. I'm 5'9", 5'8", 5'7" 3/4. Did you watch my guess is on a beautiful summer's day you were outside like normal human being while I was inside watching TV. Did you watch any of the golf yesterday?
No, I was basically outside watching youth sports all day.
Bud Cauley, do you know the name?
Just because I saw him. Yeah.
I noticed his name once or twice before, knew nothing about him. He was the 5th longest of active players to not have won on tour. He had 283 starts and had never finished in first place. He was a college teammate of Justin Thomas. He won yesterday first for blubbering, wife, kids, the whole thing. I mean, it's like, and I get it. I mean, golf is the one sport. All the other sports, like in basketball, hockey, football, baseball, whatever, you win a lot, you lose a lot too. If you're a Minnesota team, you lose more than you win. But in golf, you can have a 15-year career. He had and had never won because only one guy gets to win. It's not a team sport. It's a player and his caddy. Tenby, he tried to give that tournament away. He had a 4-shot lead at one point, hit one into the woods. He 10 beat it is what he did, and it ricocheted off the tree and kicked back into play. 18, he blocked he 10 beat it again. The drive, there were a set of bunkers up against sort of like, it was a 2-tiered fairway, so that it dropped off dramatically to the right into the rough, and that was protected by like 4 bunkers. He barely cleared one. He's sitting on the edge. He can't even stand in the bunker, but he's standing awkwardly with his feet together, thick rough. He swings as hard as he can and pops it up, and he falls forward, not into the bunker, but onto the grass rough. He gets a really good shot into the fairway, knocks it onto the green, but it's a false front. It starts rolling backwards, and it stops, and the announcers are even saying, boy, I hope that thing doesn't roll in. He sprints to the green in order to mark his ball, and he won. It was, I teared up. Because he was tearing him. He was blubbering, and the kids were crying. His wife was crying. Everybody was crying. It was a sob fest. But the only reason I bring that up is it just leads up to the U.S. Open is this weekend at Shinnecock. Why don't play? No!
Do you like playing Shinnecock or saying Shinnecock?
I like saying Shinnecock. I'd love to play it. Shinnecock has been around for, I guess it's 1896 or something like that. It's hosted several U.S. Opens, won by, we just talked about it on Tee to Green. It was won by Raymond Floyd won there, Retief Goosen, Corey Pavin, and most recently, I think Brooks Koepka won a U.S. Open at Shinnecock. Scheffler is the pre-tournament favorite, as you would imagine. He's at 11-2. Rory McIlroy is at 12-1. John Rahm 13-1. Despite the fact that he's basically playing 9-hole mixers, Friday night mixers. He really is. Those aren't even real.
Is he playing glow golf?
He's playing glow golf is what he's doing. Bryson DeChambeau, here's what it says. Once part of a clear-cut top 4 is no longer viewed in that same category after back-to-back miscuts at majors in 2026. He finds himself all the way back in 9th on the odds sheet at 25-1. Power Trip Morning Show, Scheffler's 11-2. McIlroy 12-1, Rahm 13-1, Cam Young 20-1, Tommy Fleetwood is 22-1, Fitzpatrick 22-1, as is Ludwig Oberg and Xander Schauffele, and then as we mentioned, DeChambeau at 25-1, Koepka 35-1, Morikawa 40-1, then Burns, Justin Rose, Tyrrell, Siwoo Kim, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, all that 40-1. So in the Power Trip bets, the morning show, Scheffler will be off the board, right?
Yes,
the top
he'll be the ghost.
So if Rosen gets the number one pick, will he be forced to take Rory McIlroy? I can guarantee you this will be the order in which the players go. How many do they usually have? Is it 8 or 12 people can participate in the Power Trip?
Oh, they're up 12, 13, 14, 15 range now.
My guess is it will go in this order. McIlroy, Rahm, Cam Young, Tommy Fleetwood, Mats Fitzpatrick, Ludwig Oberg, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, Justin Rose, Tyrrell Hatton, Siwoo Kim, Wyndham Clark, and Justin Thomas.
Sounds about right.
I think it'll go in that exact order. There'll be no creativity. The only guy that might add a little bit of creativity would be Gord, because Gord actually follows the sport. Right?
Yes.
Hockey himself said he'd rather watch Pro League, the one where it's going to be Adam Thielen,
Tony
Romo. Who are some of the others?
Pat Mahomes Sr.
Pat Mahomes Sr. He'd rather watch that than the Masters, he claims. And that, it teaches his own.
In his defense, I would rather, he's a big NASCAR guy.
Right.
I would rather watch the movie Cars than watch a NASCAR race. So I get it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I would too.
I was reading a little bit about Shinnecock. It sounds like their fairways are wider than typical U.S. Open, but the greens are diabolical. Because Shinnecock is the course that, remember when Phil missed the putt? And then he went running after it as it was going past the hole and he hit it.
Yeah.
He hit it before it ever stopped.
He was playing polo.
Yes. That was at Shinnecock.
Well, that's where Lehman had one of his best chances to win back when he was in his prime. And that's where Corey Pavin, one of the shortest hitters on tour, hit like a 5-wood. I think it was on the very, I don't, this is probably wrong, but it's close enough. I think it was on the 72nd hole. He hit like a 5-wood, 250 onto the green and made the putt and won the tournament and beat Lehman, if I'm not mistaken. I talked about list radio, lazy radio. We thrive on list radio and lazy radio. CBS Sports put together a piece, clickbait. It says, pass catchers, headline list of NFC rookies picked after day one who could earn key roles. There are 10 players listed, and there are several pass catchers. But there's a Minnesota Viking on this list, Genevieve. Rookies selected after day one that they think could make an impact.
As a pass catcher?
No, they're just pass catchers. There are mostly pass catchers on this list. But there's 10 players of various positions that they feel could make impacts in their very first year.
Well, I'm guessing it's either Golday or Big Citrus.
And it is Golday. That is who it is. It says Minnesota had a hole at the off-ball linebacker position, and Jake Golday is a big, fast, and aggressive prospect for Brian Flores' defense. A B-flow defense is going to be able to attack from all angles, and one of Golday's most endearing qualities is his ability to rush the passer. In 2025, he had a 25.4% pressure rate on 71 pass rush snaps, according to True Media. And when you have a player that had a 25.4% pressure rate on 71 pass rush attempts, that's according to True Media, and we'll say it's true, because they're called True Media, so why would it be false?
It'd be unfortunate if it was fake news.
Exactly.
When they're called True Media.
We already know who the fake media are. This, to me, has B-Flow asked for this draft pick written all over it, right? I know that our guy,
Brzezinski.
I was going to say Rob Gronkowski. Wrong Rob. Brzezinski, we know he was in charge of the draft, but I think the goal day is when you have because that's what B-Flow likes, that linebackers that can blitz, that can rush the passer. So this has got his stamp written all over, his thumbprint is all over this one, and we'll see if that is the case. They also have a couple of other NFC North players on this list, NSB, that could, rookies drafted after the first round, after day one, that could make an impact in their rookie seasons. Defensive lineman Chris McClellan for the Packers. It says the Packers needed help along the defensive line after watching T.J. Slayton depart in free agency a year ago and trading Kenny Clark to the Cowboys. McClellan is a classic Packers space-eating interior player. The team did sign Jason Hargrave in free agency, but at this stage of his career, he's... Is
it Javon Hargrave or is there Jason Hargrave?
Did I say Jason? I meant Javon.
Because we had Javon.
Yeah, it is Javon. I'm sorry. Javon Hargrave in free agency. But at this stage of his career, he's expected to be more of a rotational piece than a workhorse. McClellan is going to be part of that rotation as well, particularly on early downs. Then also edge rusher for the Lions, Derek Moore. It says Detroit has cycled through veteran edge rushers opposite Aiden Hutchinson in recent years. Age of Zadarius Smith, Marcus Davenport, El Quadin Muhammad, etc. So they did so again this offseason with the signings of Peyton Turner and DJ Wanham. But they supplemented the room with youth. Moore comes in as a day two pick with big expectations. The hope is that he can bring a long-term solution at a problem area through his contributions in both the run and pass games. And, as an observer of the kiddies tend to be, Hutchinson is really good, but when the offense only has to worry about one edge rusher, no matter how good, I guess unless who's the guy with the Packers, the guy from Dallas?
Micah Parsons.
Unless you're Micah Parsons, it's going to be easier. Okay, we'll double team him. What do they call it? Chipping him with a running back or a tight end or whatever. Detroit's needed help in that area because Hutchinson is really good, but he needs some help there. So we'll see if that does indeed help the kiddies or not. One other note, Tenneby, this is from that controversial college case where the Brendan Sorsby kid who admitted to gambling on hundreds of games, including his own when he played for Indiana, he was barred from Big 12 for life, right? You gamble, you're out. And then some judge filed some injunction, said, no, he can play because poor kid won't be able to impress scouts in college football, and that will damage his potential as an NFL player. Now the Big 12 has filed a legal complaint against Texas Tech, seeking to confirm its authority to enforce conference bylaws if the school plays quarterback Brendan Sorsby this season, setting up an unusual legal fight between the league and one of its members. The 47-page complaint in the Northern District of Texas names Texas Tech, the Texas Tech University system, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, and several school officials as defendants. The conference is asking for declaratory and injunctive relief to prevent what it describes as outside interference with its governance structure. At issue is whether the Big 12 can impose internal discipline on a member institution while state officials threaten legal action over the same conduct. And that's where that judge thing comes in. So I guess what they're trying to say was, well, wait now. The conference, these are the member conferences, and so we've decided this is our rules and always have been, so he's out. So now they're trying to do it. It sounds like they're trying to go wrap around the legal system itself because it says the Big 12 is not challenging that court ruling. Instead, it argues that the legal dispute has created uncertainty around its ability to enforce its own rules. The conference says it is seeking to protect its right under its bylaws to sanction Texas Tech. And I don't know, Tenneby, I didn't ask you your opinion. I don't know if you have a strong opinion on it. Do you think the Sorsby kid should be, legal? I guess he should be allowed if that's what the courts decide. But it seems like it's pretty cut and dried. If you play for a college football team, whether you're aware of the rule or not, you are supposed to play under their guidelines and their rules. And if it says you gamble on games, you're banned for life. I know what the judge said. I don't know if I agree with his logic. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought I'd heard that the judges had some connections to Texas Tech as well.
Really? So he's got a rooting interest.
Seems odd to me that. All right, can we start out getting the courts involved with Pete Rose?
Well,
right, like the guy's been banned from baseball, not in the Hall of Fame, based off of. And he wasn't even playing; he was managing,
right,
betting on his own team. Now you got a player who could definitely have especially the quarterback position, can have a huge influence on how a game's going to transpire. I don't even know how he can be allowed to play college football again.
Yeah, well, and what's interesting is, and you bring up a good point, and I've not read any details of his gambling. Of each individual wager. Sounds like he bet on his own team when it was with Indiana. It doesn't say anything about when playing for Texas Tech, but then again, how do we know?
Yeah.
How do we know? But while he played for Indiana, you're right. If Rose's defense was always, I never bet against my own team, which I guess that makes it slightly better, other than, like we've talked about, if you're managing your club and your team's getting clobbered, but you decide not to go to the bullpen because you want a rested bullpen for the next game you're going to bet on. See what I'm saying? So you can still game the system.
Well, even in football, like you could still win games, but you're getting it under the point spread.
Exactly.
Oh, I just happened to throw an interception there.
Oh, I overthrew the guy and it went out of bounds on a third and 8. Oh, shucks, we got a punt again. So you're right. So film at 11, as they like to say. It was a 4-wood, not a 5-wood. Sorry. Tenneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed a visit with you today. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon. Mark Rosen will join us at 2. A Big Ticket and JG. They're next right here on The Fan.